recording.
I chose is it right if it's like 5 games I lost? I chose 5 games I lost.
Okay, yeah, it can be whether you won or lost. I think it'll be more beneficial if it's games you lost because I mean at least that's how I always like. I don't always check the ones that I win. Well, sometimes I do, but
Yeah.
sometimes you learn more from the ones that you lose, and that's when you notice like why you even lose in certain neutral situations. So that's what's more helpful. So, but yeah, that should be helpful. So let me go ahead and move these files. Okay, so okay. Hmm. Okay, so you're the fox.
Yeah, I'm foxing all of them. Fox is like
Yeah.
my number one.
Okay, so I see two. Let me share my screen first. Okay, making sure this is good. Okay, it's recording. Um. All right, so I see Puff and Fox Ditto. So you want to focus on those for today?
Yeah, the Fox though is against a guy who've played against a lot. I've never managed to beat in tournament, but we're usually pretty close.
Okay.
And then the Jigglypuff is like one of the better players in Ireland, and I was playing against them last night, so I took that.
Okay. Against Puff, I have a general idea, but I still have to work on the kill setups, which I will be talking about. You do definitely, you know how like usually the plan with Jigglypuff, you have to like know how to put percentage, and I know that the majority know how in their own way, and that's fine. The biggest, hopefully that's your case, but if not, I'll check it out. But I do know that sometimes like the biggest issue is like learning how to do like be able to do any like kill setups. So like normally when they're in high percentage, sometimes like the up air, like up throw, up air stops working. So you have to kind of manage to find other ways. We'll still talk over them, but like I think I'll just focus on the fox for now, and then move to the puff.
Yeah.
So let's see. Guess I'll focus on the first stock first. And you're the white one or which one?
Yeah, I'm part one, yeah.
Okay. Lower this. Okay. Okay, so you definitely know how to whiff. Okay, that's good. Okay, what's your main strategy? What's the first thing that comes into mind, like when you are thinking about the neutral?
I think what I usually go for is I want to go for a grab like a lot of the time versus most characters. I want grab, and sometimes like I lead to like missing JCs and stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
I usually want to run and grab
Mm-hmm.
or get in there, and I usually want to lead it into up airs. Is like what I usually be aiming for.
Oh, you want to lead to uppers? Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's a good game plan to get started. Um, I do want to see how well your punish is. I mean, at least against this matchup, as soon as you learn how to punish, you usually I mean, at least in my case, I don't always think about what's going on in neutral, but usually like once your punish is like so good, like almost Leffen, then you usually beat like almost any fox. No matter how your neutral is. But then again, I do want to focus on the neutral. So if if the grab is the only opening that you're looking for, I mean, it's good. It's like what you're thinking is mainly the raw grabs, and that's fine. But you also want to find other ways to get a grab, and that's by tech chasing. So I don't know how
Yeah,
good your tech chasing is, but normally, like in the Fox Ditto, usually I always aim for like run and shine because that gives a knockdown, and then as soon as you get a knockdown, you just have to tech chase. So I'm not sure how your tech chase is, but I do want to look at the rest of the video. So let's see. I want to play it back again. Okay, so in that position, you were trying to nair him. I guess I mean, you were in a good spot. Um, in case you are nairing, it's fine. But if you see them, as soon as you see them like shielding more often, like whenever you go close, you want to grab more. Actually,
yeah,
that's kind of like a mix up. So if they're not shielding, then okay, the nair is fine. If not, then shield more. There's cases when they'll start going into the platform, so you have to kind of stick to center stage more. So it's like it is a mix up overall. It's just like you gotta know how to switch between those three. So just keep that in mind. Okay, that back here was good. Okay. You don't know how to ledge dash?
I do know how, but I don't as much as I should.
Okay, I definitely also have that problem, but usually if you there's always different ways to if you can't do it, then you can always like kind of like take your time, like
Yeah,
to stay on the ledge and just let him to get away. You can always go to the platform or whatever. I mean, eventually, a lot of the options can be read, but like you want to mix it up. So that's just an alternative. Like you want to just wait a little bit longer to see if he leaves. Sometimes like the foxes will give you space and then come back, but I don't see it happening all the time. And even if they do, like usually once they give you space, they'll come back. They'll try to nair you or something. You can always hold on like shield, and that should do it. But again, you have to like take into account the mix-ups. But just something to keep in mind. Just if you can't do it, just wait a little bit longer. So he's on center. That's fine. I guess like you could have done drill because he's still on low percent. So on high percent, the nair is fine, but like on low percent, definitely nair more. I mean drill more. Want to get out of there? Definitely, you gotta. The roll is fine, but sometimes, like when the fox is just like up tilting you, hoping that like once you try to come back into the stage, try to take a center stage again, they usually always opt for up tilt. Or back air. I mean that's fine, but like sometimes they give me like in my case, sometimes they give me enough room where once I get into like this position, like I can dash chance and just wait for that like that up tilt. And if you do it right, you can whiff like every up tilt. Usually, I know a lot of other characters, a lot of other people that, I mean, not everybody does it, but like once they become very good, like you can't just like up tilt like in the corner, because like once they see the up tilt, they see it coming, and you can always whiff. So that's one option in case he does it a lot. Okay. Well, I'm not sure why you did the forward smash. Was that intentional or was it?
Uh, it was, yeah. Like usually, I don't go for the chain grab because I often miss it. It's like at 0%.
Uh huh.
I usually doing up throw check chase, but I always like. I usually end it early with either an up smash or
Yeah.
kill. And on that, like with that DI.
Yeah. I was going over that problem with another student, and I was trying to explain to them that or explain to him that anytime you get a grab, you definitely want to, I mean, chain grab as much as possible, especially if you have them like in center stage, and even if they come over here, like eventually you want to get them into the top. Usually that's where they will always try to escape. So I'm sure at this point you already know that you can still tech chase on the platform with an up air. So
Yeah.
the trick is that like if you want to become proficient in tech chasing with the up air, anytime somebody goes into the platform, there's only two things that you have to keep in mind. And it might not be easy. It might not come off at first, but like with practice, it should. So the only thing that you have to keep in mind is that as soon as you see them, like you throw them into the platform, they land here usually. As you can see my cursor. They always have the option to either do a tech, like a no tech or tech in place. Usually, when in those moments, you can always like jump, like full jump, and do a falling up air, and that kind of with that after that you can like convert however you want. You can usually convert with another up air, or if they go off stage, you can do a shine and then edge guard. But other than that, like you should always pay attention, like to once you send them into a platform, you should always look for tech or no tech, or the rolls. So the easiest way is usually I always cover first no tech or tech in place, but as soon as I see them like rolling more, you always have to wait like at least approximately like 1 second. I'm not going to talk about frames just to not make it like more complicated, because like it's already a lot of information that a lot of people can improve in, so I don't want to like make it worse, like overfeed you with a lot of information. So just as long as you know cover tech in place or no tech and rolls, to cover no tech and tech, you just do a falling up or wherever they land. If you notice they roll a lot, then you just have to wait just a little bit, about a second, and then you should be able to react. As soon as you see them roll, you should have enough time to chase them down wherever they go, so they can go either to the right or left, doesn't matter. So as soon as you see the roll, you can react. You should be able to react, and then you can actually do another falling up air, like all the way like this, or it wouldn't make sense to roll like towards your side. So normally they would, like, if you make them land over here, then usually they will go over here if they roll. So you either have the option to cover tech in place or the roll to the right, and
Yeah.
same goes for the other platform, the other side. So as long as you keep those timings, like it's not, it is like three options, but like right there with this example, I already gave you like two examples. So you just gotta learn, like you have to call out whether, like, depending what they do, either they're rolling a lot or are they teching in place a lot or no tech, and that's it. In case you were to get a grab from here and launch them over here to the platform, you usually apply the same way, but again, if they don't tech, then usually you can do like a falling up bear. If you play very fast, usually like once you get a lot of grabs, like you'll be very like Fox is very fast, so sometimes they don't even like they notice they get grabbed, but sometimes they don't even react to the tech once they get like sent up to the platform. So that's why I always go for like covering it like tech in place or no tech. Always aim forever wherever they land. And again, as soon as I notice that they're changing it, then that's when I wait a little bit longer and then chase them with that up air. And that's how usually you get good at it. But like a lot of people don't know. So that's something to keep in mind. So you don't have to do like try to end up like end your grabs very quickly. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Now let's see. Yep. I guess right there, like the HR, you could have ended it with an Armada Shine for sure, but that's fine. Yep, right there you could have just yeah, you missed the back air. Again, that's part of the tech chasing process, but yeah, could have ended it. Okay, once you see them like in the, I guess you were aiming for that tech chase up air in that situation.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's just a reaction problem. So you definitely, I was just making sure because normally when they're suddenly in the platform, you really don't, you're not reacting. I mean, that was kind of slow, but like you should never challenge them in the platforms, even though I do it sometimes. But anytime somebody's in the platform, you just gotta respect it. Like if anything, just poke them. But if that was the reaction, you were meaning to react with an up air, then okay, you just gotta work on your reactions right there. That's all. Question: are those full hops intentional in neutral?
Some of them.
Some of them. Okay. Do you normally try to like gain? Like, do you try to plan it? Like, are you trying to like read something about your opponent, or are you just like hoping that like to hit him, like anytime you do like a full hop?
I think a lot of the time when it's full hop, it's probably more so I want to just get in from that angle, even though like I'd be susceptible to up tail or up smash. Usually I full hop there for more wanting to hit, and then sometimes it's reading, but most of the time just wanting to hit.
Okay. Usually, if you're gonna use full hops in a matchup like this, is that well, it has different purposes, but I think the most useful that you can take out of it is that if you're gonna full hop in neutral, you want to gain like use it to gain stage. Actually, it's a way to microspace. I don't know if you heard about that term before, or undershoot. You do want to kind of like, usually like in most matchups, you're going to be playing pretty defensive. So you really don't, like a higher level, you really don't want to go in like too much in the beginning. And if you do go in, it's because you have an idea what the other guy likes to do, like what your opponent likes to do. Otherwise, you kind of have to keep it safe. So normally, if you use the the full hops, you do want to just like kind of go in, but in a way kind of fade back at the same time, because you want to make sure it's an undershoot. So in case like at the same time, what you want to do with that full hop is eventually gain more space, take out more space out of your opponent. You want to gain like center stage or something. In case you're like the other guy or your opponent tries to attack you while you're like you're doing the full hop, then most of the time they'll get hit when they try to challenge you. I mean, as far as I know, I know a lot of people have said that there's like not easy way to challenge like a full hop. So like the best way to make it most effective, you're gonna use it, is that you want to use undershoots. Is a way to undershoot or to gain a center stage. Other than that, if you're gonna use it for like in neutral, I mean, it's got to be for a read if you want to hit your opponent. If not, then I wouldn't go for it. But other than that, I would mainly go for like undershoots or micro spacing as a way to gain more space. And again, if your opponent tries to challenge it, it's way better for you, because you can actually get like you can hit the drill and then maybe hit a drill and then like hit a shine, and then you get an opening you can grab from there. Again, this matchup depends a lot of the openings, so you definitely want to pick your openings. And one thing I didn't see in this stage doesn't work as well, but usually I always go for run shines. Like especially when they're dash dancing, like usually I just go in, and while you're in that animation, they usually can't do anything unless they throw like a move. So you can, most of the time, like 80% of the time, like you should be able to hit like a run and shine, like when like the other foxes are just dash dancing before they commit to do anything. Also, you have to, I'm not sure if you're aware of the most common pattern, is that normally when people dash dance, they don't normally commit. They don't never do like throw out a move until like maybe 2 seconds of dash dancing. So they do a micro dash dance for like 2 seconds, and they go in. Dash dance 2 seconds, go in. I know better players sometimes they switch it up, but like in the beginning, you can take advantage of that, and you can actually use that to get your running shines. Like hit them the majority of the time. So like for that, once you get the running shine, you clip them, you'll throw them into the ground, then you have room to tech chase. And actually it's very good, because if you're not good with tech chasing, then you can like once you get that opening, that should give you room to practice tech chase. So I would say try to use that more. The nairs that you use are fine, but like you also want to add like more options, definitely. And that's pretty much it. So now let's see the other videos. So I'm gonna move forward. I guess I'll go to FD. Definitely that's a lot of room, so it's different stage. You have to like keep in mind that anytime you play a specific stage, you have to take into account whether you're better like in closer situations or like in like more spacious situations. Like this one has like a lot of space, so you definitely want to like play it differently. Normally, like the way you play on big stages, you have to kind of like, you know, be careful. Usually you want to do more undershoots, combine it with overshoots. Like you don't want to do like too many overshoots, you don't want to do too many micro like undershoots or micro spacing. So I'll definitely be checking it out, but let me watch it and I'll give you feedback. See, that's what I was talking about your full hops. Oh, actually, that full hop that you did, that one. Um, I think he's in 52%, so I don't think it would be useful. But normally, when you, that's one way to use it is an overshoot. Actually, normally you want to use it if you can't get too close, or if you want to get too close, but you're kind of far away. If they're in high percent, it's actually that overshoot, like full hop overshoot, is very useful because it can usually connect with an up smash, in most cases, or even an edge guard. So you definitely do want to use it in high percentage, but never do it in low percentage. I think 52 is still pretty low. Even though if it would have gotten a knockdown, I think I could still get a knockdown. I would still double check. But if you're not getting a knockdown, I wouldn't try it. But it is one way to get space, like because you definitely don't want to like always attack very far. Especially in this matchup, you don't. If you're gonna be like fighting very far away, you definitely want to either. If you're playing against like a okay player, usually if they fight too far away, you can easily whiff. You can easily like evade their attacks, and you can take advantage like to get more openings like through grabs like that. But if not, then you can always how can I explain it? Then that's when you like have to go in, and this full hop nair is a good way to go in, but only in high percentages. So just keep that in mind, I would say.
Okay.
Right there. Okay, so you see how he got launched?
Yeah.
And then like he double jumps. If you see them double jumping, you could just like double jump yourself and then back air.
Okay.
So, yeah, usually like I mean that's also an issue that I do sometimes. I mean, not everybody not always punishes me that way, but yeah, you definitely like if you see them double jumping a lot, you definitely want to clip them with a backer or something, and that should be an easy edge guard. See, you see that that up tilt?
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely want to watch out because as soon as they notice that you do it, like it depends. I think he reacted, but like if you do it a lot, you can easily get whiffed. I also see him more chain grabbing than you, so definitely I would say you definitely need to work on those chain grabs, especially on FD at least, because you do have a lot of room to chain grab him to death. So definitely don't. I wouldn't go for the lacy option just to end it quickly. If you can't get your Armada shines, I would say practice them, but you still don't understand how they work. You usually want to aim for the head. You don't want to get too close because otherwise you'll get burned. But yeah, always aim for the head, and that should be able to kill them. Let me see. The last one is Battlefield. Should be similar to Joshu's. So let me see. Otherwise, you said you guys are pretty even, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it's like over tournament, he definitely has a big advantage. But like when we play,
Mm-hmm.
like we're quite close. We've been playing for like similar time and play each other a lot.
Do you have any idea why he does a little bit better when you guys play in tournament?
Um,
Usually, I can have an idea. Um, some of the times when they play in tournament, they kind of wait more, so they're just like spacing out like your moves. So I don't know if he does that. Probably he does, and you
I
probably
think like
yeah.
my bad habits versus them come out a lot in matches, and they like I feel like in the tournament matches a lot. They
Oh.
My bad habits come out like they are locked in and calling it out.
Uh huh.
And I think over time, the last time we played like this was the last time I played them in tournament,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't as bad. But for a while, like I think there was a mentality thing as well where I felt like I had to like prove that I could do it, and
Okay.
it wasn't that bad this time. But in a lot of the sets, it's definitely been a factor. Where I
Hmm.
got thinking about the record.
Yeah. I think you're putting more pressure on you than you should. So. Yeah, that's another part of the game that like you have to. It's actually kind of mental. Once you get into a tournament, like you have to. Sometimes like what will stop you from doing well is just like these mental ideas that you have. Oh, I gotta win, or else like you have to
Yeah.
try to play not to prove anything. Like you definitely want to like one have fun and two like aim for improvement, because if you're aiming for the win, it's like you're selling yourself short. So you definitely don't want to do that. And like if you can play in tournament like you how you play in friendlies, way better. Like I would say, well, that's the tournament mindset that I mean, it's
Yeah.
a totally different like subject, but like to keep it simple, I would say try to aim to play more like you're playing friendlies, and don't worry about the results for now because you're still learning. Okay, so let's see. I think right there you could have done a jab reset right there.
I see.
Shouldn't be doing that. Those up smashes, I mean, you could have just whiffed them or something. Okay, what I'm noticing here is that you're getting clipped more because you're like on the platform. Uh, Usually, like that shouldn't be happening. Like you have to kind of take your time to be on the platform, and you can just hold shield. Because you can always like if they decide to counter you with something, you can always do a shield drop into backer or whatever. But if you're getting clipped, then normally the issue is that you're not like you're trying to get away from it, or you're trying to react. Like I don't know, you're trying to throw something. You're not like taking your time, and sometimes you end up throwing like the wrong move, like that keeps you open, and that's when a fox like him is gonna take advantage because you're just easily like giving him the opening. So definitely when you're like fighting with any character, and especially once this matchup becomes more hard and harder, like against more experienced players, you definitely don't want to throw moves like that don't lead to anything, because otherwise they leave you open, and that's when like it causes a lot of issues on the long run. So definitely, anytime you decide to throw any move, you have to make sure that you definitely it's gonna hit. You gotta make sure that's gonna hit, because otherwise you leave yourself open, and even if you fail, you definitely have to know why. But like so far, what I'm seeing is that sometimes you kind of like throw moves to kind of get away, and definitely that's not what you want to do. So, well, that's one approach to keep in mind while in the platform. So, I would say try to take more of your time. See the platforms as a better way to actually reset the neutral, and then like find a creative way to come down safely. Because like if you stay too long on the platforms, I mean they can shark you, but again, like if you wait long enough, then maybe you can find a way to come down and even hit him. So I would just watch out, like the way how you come down and not. Uh, One thing I did see that you were doing pretty well, but I'm not sure if you were aware. Um, Usually when he was cornered, you were kind of like taking your time. Sometimes you would do it, sometimes you wouldn't. So if you're the one on the center stage and the other one is cornered, you kind of want to like always pay attention what they like to do, and usually they always come up with habits. So um, sometimes I did notice you would wait, and then suddenly like you would kind of like go in better appropriate times. But I'm not sure if you're conscious about it.
Some of the time, like I think about it a little bit, but it's not like only if I'm like back into the corner. Like I don't really. If I'm going into the start of the game, I probably wouldn't think of it a lot.
Okay. I would say like try to be more mindful what's going on, because like a lot of times, at least in my case, well, I mean, what works for me is that I do always eventually find the habit while I have them cornered, and they either like to go to the platform or not. So I always try to like use like flow chart, like depending what they do. Definitely, it's a mix-up situation, but like for the most part, I think you have to know when to go for a flow chart, when to go for a mix-up. So when you're getting started, I think it's easier to go for a flow chart, depending what the other person is doing. So definitely, they go for the platforms. Just take center stage. Just I don't know. Just poke them with backers. If you don't see them like going up, then usually they'll shield. We can take advantage of like more grabs, like more raw grabs. Or if you notice that they're like rolling, actually I noticed that have more on your end, then you can easily like kind of wait for them more. I mean, you can still apply the back air if you see them rolling a lot, but if not, then you can always use the dash ins as you were using, and then call out the roll. I mean, there's different options, but again, usually you also want to use a flow chart. I think the easiest way is to use a flow chart. But once you see that there's a lot of things going on, that your opponent's changing things over and over, then yeah, you kind of have to play the mix-up game. But at low level, I always play the flow chart, because if I overthink about the mix-ups, it usually is still very RNG, and you want to make it as less RNG as possible. So I think for this case, against your friend, you can definitely take advantage of like a flow chart situation and just try to pay more attention to his habits if you're gonna be in that position. If not, then if you're the one stuck, then you can always find ways. Again, you can always like try to wait for the back tilt or something, and then try to whiff that. Like explained to you, once he saw you do the up tilt, he whiffed you. You can do the same thing if he tries to like corner you with the up tilts. So it's just a matter of like reacting. That's all. Other than that, I would say definitely like also keep in mind the punishes. Just don't try to end them quickly. And I'm sure that as soon as you kind of like learn how to tech chase, like your whole game should like change more towards your favor.
Okay.
I think that's pretty much it. Either way, I'm gonna give you the recording, but I do encourage you to take notes either way.
Yeah, I've been taking a few now.
Okay. Let's see. All right, so let's move with Puff. You have FD and Battlefield. Let's start with Battlefield.
This guy's like top 2 in Ireland, so we're kind of like he's
Oh,
kind
really?
of like joking around for a while, and then like he is still playing, because I think I said to him that I might use some of the games for this.
Oh, really?
I don't know, but yeah.
So you just
I was playing them yesterday, like when I messaged you.
Oh, okay. Let's see. So we only have about 15 minutes. So I'm gonna skip. I'll probably watch most of it, or at least I'll wait till the second stocks and tell you like something that I noticed, so we can like reach the deadline. All right. So one thing I've noticed, are you aware of the stage control situation? How it works? The importance of like, the importance of keeping center stage.
Yeah.
Okay. Definitely it's fine, but okay. So at least you're aware, but definitely you want to be able to space out like her moves while you still keep yourself in center stage. Because I did notice that she was just hitting you with the backers, with the even with fairs, and I mean, you shouldn't be getting hit that much. Like if you space yourself correctly, I mean that's step number one. But sometimes like what you want to do if you're gonna be fighting in the center stage, because most of the most important part of this game is that you want to have her fight in center stage, which in fact I mean he's already doing it with her, So usually the way, at least the way I like to approach it, is that I like to throw um non-committing, like I don't like to commit like with moves. Like you can throw like soft commits. I think SFAT would talk about soft commits. It's like undershoots, but like you kind of want to throw like stuff in place sometimes,
Yeah.
like stuff that you don't aim to hit, but like if she's like in reach, like okay, if she gets too close, she's gonna get clipped by the back air. So you definitely want to like throw moves that, like, in case you get too close, then I mean, I'm gonna hit you with this back air. So you want to be fighting, like, I don't know, like you want to be spacing around like the center, then suddenly like throw moves like back airs that, like, just in case she comes close, then you'll be able to clip her. And it doesn't get hard until, like, because right now she's fighting like too close to you, like he doesn't care. He's just like, okay. But normally with Puff, she always has to play defensive. So if he's not playing in defensive, then it's because, like, and he's throwing yourself at you with Puff a lot, then it means that you just don't know how to space well. But usually, like, once you learn how to space, like, you want to get away from her attacks. And it can be through dash dancing. Usually dash dancing is the best way, but yeah, you want to get away from her. But at the same time, like, throw moves that, like try to connect it, like, throw moves close enough to her, but at the same time, if she gets too close, then I mean, you'll be able to clip her in case she tries to challenge you. I mean, that's the way how Puff actually plays. If you get too close to her, like bears, then she's gonna clip you. So you want to respect her, but at the same time, like, have her come to you. But in this case, if he's already coming in to you, then all you have to do is at least, like, throw non-committed moves that you can throw in place. But like in case she comes in closely, I mean, you're gonna be able to clip her. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Other than that, let's see. Let me finish the rest of the match. Yeah, it's still the same problem. So. Yeah, that's mainly the problem. I mean, it's not much to analyze outside of it, but yeah, I think the main problem is that you don't know how to like. You try to like commit too much, and sometimes you even like put yourself in like bad positions. Um,
Right.
like you're really trying very hard to find a way to hit her at all, but you usually don't want to even hit her. Like you usually want to like the way you play it is that you solely want to kind of gain space, put yourself in positions where like you want to make her to you want to make her to come to you, and as soon as you see her coming to you, then you want to like throw like moves. You want to throw like your own wall at the same time, because that's what she's doing. Like that's her own whole play style is to throw walls of bears and slowly gain stage control. I mean, she's not even playing. He wasn't even playing stage control. He was just like you could easily rely on the fact that like you kind of throw yourself like kind of mindlessly for the most part. I think that's the best way to describe it. But like expecting to like, okay, I hope that this move actually hits him, and he's just gonna wait for that. So instead of like trying to wait for him, you can actually kind of, like I said, use that style where you're just throwing moves like hitboxes and hope and just wait for him to kind of come at you, because you can't just rush at the puff. And even if you decide to kind of approach in this matchup, like the the full hops are useful, but you have to kind of call at the same time that, I mean, they're gonna be like floating forward. You know how like Puff likes to throw like backers and then kind of goes forward while they're
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
floating. Uh, the yeah, whenever Puff does that, usually the full hops the full hops like forward into nair are can be very useful. Well, you have to make sure that you know that that the puff is always going forward every time, and you have to make sure that you're like in a good space to hit her. And yet sometimes even they're like in high percentage or medium percentages. Sometimes that nair actually connects to like an up air, so that way you don't have to always rely on getting up airs, up throw up airs. So that's one way to see it, but for now I would start from there, and eventually you do want to learn how to get your own kill setups, which just to put it like just to explain it briefly, usually a kill setup just means that you have to, create like a mini combo, like maybe one move into an up air, one move into an up smash, something like that. That's just a kill setup.
Yeah.
That's very important in this matchup because, like, it's kind of impossible to edge guard her. I did find a way to edge guard Puff, and I'll explain how. I think that's one of the last things I'll explain. And I guess I'll do Final Destination. I don't know. Just I'll try to explain it as best as I can. But usually when you're trying to pressure them, like you're very close. Usually they'll try to like stick outside more. They'll try to do floating like backer, and slowly kind of come in or even grab the ledge. Usually what I do is that I kind of backer, like I stay right here and then backer, and if they kind of come like while they're backering, like this, then usually I clip them with a backer, and sometimes that's a good edge guard. I don't go all the way over here while they're like floating, because that's suicide already. So usually like a good way to edge guard them is that you want to kind of like if they're floating, you see them floating too much. I didn't see him do that, but like that's one way to edge guard. It's just like throw bears, non-committing bears, and usually if they come in, then usually sometimes you clip them. One way they can get away is that sometimes they see you like walling them. They'll try to grab the ledge. They'll do back air, and then go like this. Sometimes when I'm doing the backers to wall them from coming back, I usually sometimes like do like a forward smash, and as soon as they come in and I hit them with the forward smash, then they kind of like sometimes even die. That's one way to do it if you can't kill them, but usually you do want to aim for grabs. I think once you get the idea of like non-committing undershoots, I think that's the place where to start. Then you move on to the killing setups. But for now, I would say try to make sure that you make damage to her with what I'm telling you, and then focus on the kill setups.
Yeah.
I guess other than that, I would say if you took notes of the Fox Ditto, just follow what I said and then focus on the punishing. Don't make sure to overextend those punishes, because again, don't end them up easily. And that's pretty much it. I am gonna give you a guide. Usually I was charging for it, but since you guys are the first one, so I don't mind. I actually want you guys to learn, so let me see. All I need is that it's just your email. That's the way I'm gonna be sharing this Google Doc.
Yeah, sure. Let me.
And like I did with the other students, usually I would give them an assignment. So I would tell them, read through this and try to apply it, work on it more. I think for me, for our lesson, I would recommend learning about the undershoot and overshoots. I think I explained that pretty well. I'm still gonna improve it, but just give it a read. I did include, I think, one video, or not. I guess not, but just give it a read and then try to apply it. And if you still have questions about it, you can always do a lesson again, or you have options. Even if you don't want to do a lesson, I might change the prices. You can always send me just one clip, one slippy clip,
Yeah.
usually you have what's it called? That's not it. Right here, if you don't want a whole lesson, you just hey, what do I do here? We can do something like this, and you have a discount. You actually have a lot of discounts with even Twitch, with Twitch Prime if you have it. So you have to, and I might change this, but usually I only do 30 an hour. If you only do it once, but if you do more, then yeah, normally you get more discounts. But again, just take advantage of the discounts, and then definitely probably put on promos every now and then. So. But for now, I would say just give it a read for spacing, not spacing. That could still be useful, but I would say undershoot and overshoots. Try to apply that. Try to read it. Try to apply that every time you practice, and then if you come with issues, then we can always discuss it in the future lesson.
Okay. That sounds good.
Okay. So let me see. Did you send me your email? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so your daily guide. And again, you can read the whole thing, but I would start there. And then later, if you have time, then I would read the rest as you can. It's 30 pages long. Again, I am thinking about improving it with video examples or GIFs, but I want to see how the whole Metafy goes. The whole Metafy lessons go. So depending how it goes, I might add videos faster, but if not, I might take my time. But just keep an eye on the Discord if I put in an announcement, and then I'll let you guys know if I made any changes.
All right.
Okay. So you have any questions before we end the lesson?
I don't think so. No, I think I'm pretty happy with what you've covered now.
Okay.
Looking to reading over everything and watching back.
Okay. Okay.
Nothing's coming to mind. I think I just focus on what you pointed out.
Okay, that's good. All right then. Again, just practice, and if you have questions, feel free to reach out to me. And again, try to take advantage of the discounts. But if not, keep an eye on the promos if I do throw them out, in the future in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, thanks so much.
All right, no problem. All right, if you need the recording, I can send it to you as well. But just let me know, okay?
Yeah, could you send on the recording, please?
Okay, sounds